Okay.
It works. Anyway, your video quality rewatch was really good. So
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Okay, so anyway, so I'm not going to introduce a whole lot of new stuff now. Um, I know a lot of schools that, they got the semester, they got the time pressure. Hey, we got to cover all this material. We don't really have that. So I'm just kind of thinking empathetically. I know that, there was times where I was just like, wait a minute, I need some time, to kind of get this or whatever. So I just figured, I kind of tried to do that with that long video, the same thing, where I would just really pound it until we got like, oh, okay, I'm starting to feel like I got it. And so I figured we kind of do the same thing. Throw a few extra verbs in, a few new nouns, but not a whole lot, and just make a lot more sentences and stuff. Because most of those sentences in the homework were just third person singular. So, you get the first person, second person, third person. It's just, most of them were like this. And so we're going to have to talk a little bit about some of the pronouns, which we've discussed a little bit. We'll go over those again about you and me, because when you're using you and me pronouns, it's a lot easier to start using first and second person. But how'd it go? Maybe you could just kind of tell me how it went when you did the video, maybe try to do the homework.
yeah, yeah, that went pretty well. In fact, it felt like I was starting to actually get it better.
Nice.
When you went the repetition, I sent another sentence, another one.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I was telling Christian, I don't know if I had it recorded, was that I really appreciated that Dr. Christopher Rico did in our class with Polis Institute, is like he would bounce around with this. And the method he would use is, we're only using the indicative mood, which is where you're stating something actually happening kind of factually. But, he used a lot of the imperative, and we probably in the not so distant future will introduce that. Because what it allows you to do is me to like tell you, hey, stand up. You stand up, and then sit down. So you sit down and like, hey, could you, give me that marker there? We could pretend you're passing me a marker, you do it on your end and I receive the marker on my end, or something. You just kind of just do a lot of interaction that if you just use the indicative mood, all we can do is talk about what happens. And then if we were using the subjunctive, not to throw in more confusion, but we would talk about what might happen, the possibility of things happen. Hey, what if I was to do this? Or if you do this, then this, Sometimes in English people will say, hey, if you do this, then this will happen. But really in Greek, you're not really stating that it will definitely happen. You're saying it with the subjunctive mood. Because the reality is that, like the Bible talks, the Bible speaks a lot of times where it says, Lord willing, this will happen. And that's just true. Like you could drop dead right now. You can't say that, hey, if I do this, that this is going to happen. Because what if you drop dead? You don't know. So, I know that's kind of a crazy argument, but that's just the idea of when you're using the the subjunctive mood, you're talking about things that you don't know for sure. But the indicative that we're using, and that's why it's symbolized PIA, which is tense. And you see this in the lexicons, P, and now I'm using English characters here, so that's not rho, that's actually P in English. Mood, and then voice. And so this is active voice, and that's kind of what we're sticking with for right now. The indicative mood, and that's the mood of things that are kind of factually happening. Like we said, theos lege logon anthropo. So if I don't even discuss like who he gave it to, which would be the anthropo in the dative, and I just say theos lege logon, that's just a factual statement with just our subject, our verb, and our direct object that says what he leged, what he said. Theos, God, says a word or speaks a word, and that's it. And it's a factual sort of thing you're saying. But if God was telling you to do something, then he would use the imperative. And then if we were talking about that God might do something, then we might use the subjunctive mood and stuff. So there's a little bit of a, looking over the horizon sort of thing, because it'll probably be a while before we get into any subjunctive stuff or anything like that. But that's mood, and that's 3 of the moods. Another one is participle, which is not really a mood, but it's kind of just the place that they've decided to kind of put it, as part of the different variations and stuff. But tense is more like expected. It's not always time, but it's kind of that idea. Sometimes it has to do with something we'll talk about eventually, where we talk about aspect. As long as we're talking indicative mood, we don't need to talk about aspect because it's always tense. It always has to do with time. So if it's present tense, it's happening now. If it was aorist, we put an A there, aorist tense, then that would say it happened in the past. We don't really know when, but we just know sometime in the past. And then if it was imperfect, we would say it was happening in the past. So you're talking about the past, but you're talking about it happening in a progressive sense, as opposed to just, this one-time event that happened. There's a term that the grammarians or the theologians or scholars or whatever, they call it punctiliar, where it's like you got a timeline, and it's like if it's aorist, it happened, so this is now. So it just happened sometime in the past, and that would be aorist. But imperfect says that, hey, over some period of time, it was happening. It's not really saying exactly when it started. It might even be it just stopped recently, or what. You just don't know. It was something that was just progressively happening over a period of time, and so they call that the imperfect. So it's kind of a subtle distinction there. Aorist is used quite a bit. It's like us saying, hey, that happened in the past, or something. I went to the store. You have no idea when that is. That could have been a year ago. That could have been yesterday. It could have been earlier today. You just don't know. And then if I say I was going to the store, and then depending on how I frame by more words and context of the paragraph or something, you might be able to glean in and try and find out, over this period of time, it was progressively happening. But it was in the past, that would be imperfect. But right now we're just going to continue with the present active and just try to get really comfortable with, with the whole idea of just building these sentences where we've got, objects and subject and verb, and just kind of converse a little bit. So how's that? Does that sound good, or is that pretty clear?
It does. It sounds like, for all those other tenses and moods and all that, does that mean there's like another different ending for each one of those situations?
Yeah. So that's why as you go to those, you start learning different paradigms, and then there's certain like rationale you start to learn of how the Greeks thought with how they did stuff, to where you don't have to learn all the possible combinations. That would be like, wow, you in some cases, since you start to see there's a little bit of a pattern, you just learn those rules, and then as you start to get used to using them. So yeah, there's some exceptions of things in Greek, but there's a lot of things that once you learn certain patterns, they're just a lot of times will repeat quite a bit until you bump into a different type of verb that has its type of model, and then you learn for those type, what the rule is or whatever. So right now we're just sticking with omega verbs, and this is the form that if we have our lexicon, like if you went to Bible Hub. Oh, I said Bubble Hub, BibleHub.com. You can see there, if you click on the interlinear link, phone, it looks like, at least on mine, looks like that, INT. But on a computer, it would actually be written out interlinear up there on the menu. And, you just pick some spot in the New Testament, doesn't even matter where, just hit interlinear, and it's going to give you the Greek. And you're going to basically look at the scriptures that's in the Greek, and then underneath there'll be like a real short brief, sometimes insufficient, but they got to keep it short because they're trying to follow English with Greek, as you're going through because the whole thing is based on the Greek manuscript, and then they're trying their best to just put a little short, brief English description or definition, I should say, underneath. So, and then in there, with that interlinear, if you click SUM, which I think on a computer, when you see it all written out, I think it's summary. I think it's short for summary. SUM on the phone, on the cell phone. And that's going to give you like Strong's lexicon. And this is it for verbs. This is always going to be the form for an omega verb. You would see, and that's why we call it omega, because the ending is omega for first person singular. So they call it that. And then one of the other verbs we have was Amy. Right? Um, let's see. I
I
know.
am.
That's right. I think the accent was there. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so it was Amy, and that means the to be verb or whatever. So that's got the me ending, and there's a few of those like dido me, tithe me. We'll get into them eventually. Dido me is like give, and tithe me is put, and so such like that and stuff. So there's some other ones too, but yeah, I just want to stick, not jump with all these different types of paradigms and overwhelm people and stuff that I know some of these courses can do. So let's just kind of park on omega verbs. Um, I don't know if we'll go into the plural today. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we should go into the plural side or just stick with the singular side, first, second, third person?
I mean, for the noun?
Well, I mean, yeah, for the noun, but also even for the verb. So on the verb, it would be the we, the y'all, the they, for verbs versus for the noun, it would be, you're right, like of the nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative, you would have the plural side of those. So you could actually have not just like nomos was law, you could have laws, or, logos, you could have logoi, which would be, words, kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm trying to keep it just so we can really practice some sentences for a while. Keep it simple. So maybe we won't go there yet. But yeah, so it'd be both for verbs. We could eventually jump into that. Whether we might touch it at the end of the day today, and then same with nouns. Not sure where to introduce that, but that's that's what allows you to kind of start doing the plurals, like I said. So whether it's the we, they, or y'all or whatever. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say we can do it either way because it's listening to that video. It sounded like Christian's right up here ready to do that too, and I think I'm pretty close. It wouldn't hurt to do more practice, but if we just did another repeat of last week, we didn't really go anywhere. So we got to add something new, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do want to add a few more verbs and a few more nouns. And what I want to do today is more sentences. So that's at least what I want to do for a little while. What time is it? It's already 7:20. So we're probably at least 15 minutes into the video. So so let's practice some different sentences. I don't know, for 15 minutes or so, and then we'll introduce some new vocabulary, make some sentences with those. Maybe even kind of converse a little bit with them and stuff, because that's really what I want to get in hopefully short space that we're actually conversing. And I hope more people come, so it's more than just me here. And then even with Christian, if we could get David, get somebody else, maybe Ken, somebody. If there's 2 or 3 of us, we could really get some good, assuming that we all can hear each other with good internet and stuff. Really get some good conversation going and stuff. Which that to me, I really see the Polis method, which I know we're not okay the Polis method, but if we can at least import some of it, it's really powerful to help you remember. Is when you're actually saying these things and starting to, even as you go off. I don't know why I waited so long to do this, but probably somewhere in the last year is when I really started just having my own conversations. I mean, I do it constantly, whether it's I'm praying or whether I'm just talking about what I'm doing or whatever. And it's really helped me a lot. Really helped me a lot. Instead of trying my best, that every once in a great while I run into something like I don't know how to say that in Greek, but most of the time I can say pretty much everything I want to do in Greek. I'm at that point now. So just doing that again and again, and I want to get to where I've got other people I can converse with, because when you do that, it's just for a language. That's how you learn the language. So so I kind of hoping we can do that, because I know that I help a lot, rather than just making your own flashcards and doing homework. And I mean, because that's all important, and I certainly don't want to discourage anybody from doing that, because I spend a lot of hours doing that. But if you layer on top of that conversation, man, it just really helps. So anyway, yeah. So I guess we'll just start with I'll pick a couple of these sentences that we did last week, and you tell me what it means. So huios, theu, yeah, theu. What does that mean?
Well, huios is the subject, and that's son.
Okay.
And theo is belonging to God, so son of God.
Amen. That's awesome.
You used that example already, didn't you?
Yeah. And remember, actually, I want to introduce today too. Don't let me forget. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. I want to introduce, because we've talked about a little bit, so I want to just make sure we start hitting it, and that is the article. So since we're using the masculine for the nominative, this is the article. So we kind of talked a little bit about this before. So it'll be ho for host for the nominative. It'll be tu for the u ending of the genitive. It'll be to for the omega or the dative ending of a noun, of our second declension nouns, and then ton for the on. So you can see the endings are the same, except we got a tau in front of it. And here the sigma dropped out, so we just got ho. And we've got also a rough breathing mark on here. It's not o with a soft breathing mark, it's ho with like a H sound in front of it. So it's ho. So we say, if I say ho huios theu, without that you had a son of God, right? But if you put ho in there, now we've got the son of God, or the son of God. So this is the, that's how you say the. So this we call the definite article. It's, definite article, right? For second declension masculine nouns. That's the whole paradigm we're really kind of been focusing on. So the nominative form, like you said, this is our subject. So we're going to use the ho, since it's our subject. Ho huios theu, the son of God. And then our sentence also said, it said huios theu, but we added ho. So ho huios theu, kurios, estin. Yeah. So kurios estin. So this is from our ami verb. And remember, ami for the verb conjugation is kind of our regular verb. So a, and then this was estin. So you just kind of memorize those for now. Ami, a, estin. So that would be I am, you are, he is. So ho huios theu kurios estin. I think I had that in the paper now that I think about it. I did have that in there. So so what is that whole sentence? Ho huios theu kurios estin? What does that mean?
So that would be, because of the ho, that's the, because the first time I said son or the son, I would be right, that would be a son. But now you've got the definite article there, so the son of God is Lord.
Exactly. Excellent. Is Lord. All right. We know that to be true. Praise God. All right. So let's see. Let's just go over some more before we move on. I'm gonna do with my eraser here. Let's see. Ho huios theu kurios estin. Actually, let me turn that into a question. Do you remember that we said if you want to make it into a question, you use ara? So it's a soft breathing mark. And I think the accent goes on the front. I think so. Anyway, I'm going to leave it off for now. I'm not sure. I think so. I should put that on. So if you use ara in the front of it, you kind of turn it into a question. So if I said ara, I guess I'll put the capital. Ara ho huios theu kurios estin, and then a question mark in Greek is basically a semicolon. So if I saw Ara ho huios teu curios esten, that's a question to you. What would you say? Do you remember the word for yes?
Oh, without, I have to look. I've got it somewhere.
You sure? That's okay. I'll just tell you. Can you read that?
Is that the nay? Nine? No, that's not it.
Nine.
Nine?
Nine.
Okay.
And then no would be ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nine.
ooh. Now, if you see, I could give you the three variants of that. You know, since I know we say, hey, we're ready for more vocab, so let's kind of add a little more layer here. So ooh is the basic one. If you're putting it in a sentence and your very next letter is a vowel, remember that you need to put a kappa right after it. So ook. And so you're basically what you're doing is between two vowels, two words that start with, this ends with a vowel and the next word starts with a vowel. The Greeks are putting a consonant in between to kind of buffer it or something. So they're saying, so I would say, if I said ooh, I would not say ooh huios, I would say ook huios, right? Or if I said, with Amy, if I said, I wouldn't say ooh Amy, I would say ook Amy. I would say ook Amy. No, I am not. I'm not. So if I say ara ho huios theu curios esten, you would answer.
Am I the son of God? I would answer.
Oh no. Ara ho huios theu curios esten.
Oh, is the Son of God the Lord?
Right.
The Son of God is Lord. I would say.
Right.
I would say yes, which is.
Yeah. So the statement that we started with, theu curios esten. It wouldn't have to be, the words wouldn't have to necessarily be arranged like that. They could be arranged a little differently, but they would basically have all the same endings. They would look just like that, even if they kind of arranged it a little differently. But they said ara, just by putting ara and a semicolon at the end, that makes it into a question. So what we stated before was a statement, ho huios theu curios esten, the Son of God is Lord. Now we make it into a question. Ara ho huios theu curios esten? With a question,
and
you would say
nine.
Okay, nine, and
with a K.
Yeah. So now make a complete sentence. So nine, and then make it into a statement. You just do what? What would you do? Nine.
So you'd say nine. O huios beyond.
Theu.
Theu. That's right. Theu. Curios.
Esten, you got it, man. That's it. That's awesome. Okay. So, yeah, we're running out of room on the board here. Let's see.
Question.
Yep.
That word ara, does that actually mean R, or does that just mean that it's a question coming up?
Yeah, it's just sort of, how like with English we put a question mark at the end? Think of it as that, like on the front end of a sentence. Like what Spanish people do is they'll do an upside down question mark, and then at the end they'll do a right side up question mark, and then in between they put the question. Think of ara as that, and then the semicolon is that.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, okay, so it is. All right. So let's do another one. Yeah, actually, I'll just leave ara up there for now. Let's turn some of these things into questions. Practice that. So remember, we've got oo and ook. Oo and ook is no. Right? And then this is yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay. We got lots of black pens, so I'm going to keep using those. All right, so ara. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring in. So I'm throwing this at you now. Throw you a boomerang. So we got ook and nai, right? So tell me again, how do you say no?
You say no, oo or ook if it's between two words with vowels.
There you go. And then nai, how would you say yes?
Nai, but
Okay.
do you add a K if it's between two words with vowels?
No, not with nai. It's only for ook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of unique to the oo. And then another one I could tell you is if you want to make it emphatic, you wouldn't normally use it in a sentence. You would just, if you just said no by itself, when you do what I'm showing you, you're almost like putting an exclamation point at the end of it. So if you say uki with a he and a yoda at the end, when you say uki, you're basically kind of being emphatic about no. So if you basically want to just say no, you would just say oo or ook, depending on the vowel rule. But if you want to say no, then you would say uki. So again, it's Omicron, upsilon. You've got the soft breathing mark above the upsilon because this is the diphthong, of course. And then you got he, which looks like an X, and then you got the iota there. So it's uki. And so you'll see, I don't know, probably maybe within a few classes or whatever, we'll start showing how some of the letters in the alphabet have a strong connection to one another that is repeated throughout the language. So you'll see that the he and the kappa, and then even some others, kind of have a little bit of a close, family relationship. And you'll see that with some other letters as well. So we'll talk about that. And so anyway, so uki is an emphatic no. Oo or ook is just a plain vanilla no, and then nai is what you say for yes. So now let me ask you a question. So it's in ara. I'm just going to use the lowercase ara. Aratheos. Aratheos. Eki. Remember echo. What does echo mean? Echo, ekes, eke. So echo, ekes, eke. Echo. Yeah,
that was the last video.
That's okay. I'll just tell you. If we keep doing the repetition, it'll stick. So don't beat yourself up too much. So yeah, it means have.
Have. Okay.
Yeah. So have. So here. Yeah. So actually, with third person singular, it would be has. I think so. No. I'm sorry. Have. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. I guess it would be has. Yeah. Anyway. So have, has, that whole English verb there. So aratheos eke, what does he have? I'll just say cosmon. I'll just say that. And then I got the semicolon at the end, and I got the ara in front of it. So aratheos eke cosmon.
He's got the world. Okay. God has the world.
A world.
Cosmon?
Yeah, a world. Yeah, a world. Now, if I wanted to turn this into the world, and I want to use the definite article, what would I put?
You would put ton cosmon.
Right, ton. So aratheos eke ton cosmon. I guess I don't have to keep this up here.
God has the world. God has the world. Well, I'd say I. Yes, God has the world.
And then
right?
make it into a sentence.
Okay, I would say nai theos eke ton cosmon.
Yes, man, you're getting it. That's awesome. Okay, and then let's do another one here. So aratheos eke ton quion. Yeah. Ara theos eke ton huion. Or let's say that. Let's do that. Let's just without the definite article. Ara theos eke huion.
Does God have a son? And I would say, Nai, Theos eke huion.
Theos eke.
Huion.
Right. Okay. Nai theos eke huion. Right. Kalos. That's awesome. Good. Kalos. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So yeah, real quick, our nouns that we've learned so far was. Can you give me some of them? Can you give me some without looking?
Well, let's see. There's anthropos. Let's see, which brother Adolfos? Curios. There's I'm trying to forget a crowd. Was I'd recognize it if you said it. I don't have them all down in memory, yeah. But if you say the word, I can tell you what it means. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I think is that where the accent goes? Yeah. Okay, can you see that?
A little bit. Looks like, is that
Omicron? Yeah, I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
Oklos. Yeah, Oklos. So that was crowd. Now, how would you say and? Do you remember how to say and?
Kai.
Okay, so walk through all those and put Kai in the middle of them.
Okay. That's Oklos, Kai, Huios, Kai, and I can barely read that. Is that Anthropos there?
Anthropos? No.
Okay. Kai, Adelphos.
Adelphos.
Kai,
make sure you put the accent at the end. Adelphos. Yeah, not up here. You want to put it at the end. Adelphos. Yep. And then kurios is on the first syllable. Kurios. Yeah, you just say it like that. So yes. So run through it again.
Okay. Oklos, Kai, Huios, Kai, Anthropos. Right? The first part?
Yeah.
Okay. Kai, Curios, Kai, Adelphos.
Adelphos.
And that's that. Wait, did I miss one over there?
Yeah, can you see this one?
Yeah. I can barely see that. Is that Curios? No, that's K-O. Kappa, Omicron.
Is it better? Can you see it better?
Looks like Kappa, Omicron, Sigma, Eta.
No, Mu.
Okay, so that. Okay.
Omicron. Yeah.
Cosmos.
Yeah,
Cosmos.
Mu.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Kappa, Omicron, Sigma, Mu, Omicron, Sigma. So remember, it's the ending sigma, not the middle sigma. Where's the middle sigma? Oh, right here, cosmos. So it's got the middle sigma, and at the end, it's got the ending sigma. And then this one here. So angelos.
Yes, angelos.
Yeah, angelos. Yeah, so it's like you almost kind of spell it like, or I'm sorry, pronounce it like that with an NG sound. When you get two gammas back to back, and there's other words too we'll look at. They kind of follows the same pattern. I'll just tell you this one. Don't worry what it means, but yeah, it's just a strange sort of phenomenon. This would not be translated as su lambano. It'd be translated as soon lambano, because in reality, the prefix is actually soon. But when you put that together with that, this changes to a lambda, but you still pronounce it that way. Same with this. This is really like an AN, but they change it to a gamma, and it's. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I know that happens a lot in Greek, and so it's just strange that sometimes the new will turn to match the. You'll see a little bit of that here and there, and you just kind of memorize it, and then eventually it starts to kind of form a little bit of a pattern. At least it has for me. So this is not agelos. This is angelos. So you treat this as if it's a nu. Yeah. So alpha, nu, gamma, epsilon, lambda, omicron, sigma. So yeah, and you still pronounce it like angelos. So it's alpha, gamma, gamma, but you treat it as if it's alpha, nu, gamma. That's the way you pronounce it. So, and then another one will be nomos. And so the accent is on the first syllable, so we say nomos. Whereas like this one, and we got a couple other we'll look at, is adelphos. So we got 3 syllables, but the accent is on the last one. So it's just adelphos, and then we emphasize the last one, so adelphos. And then, same with theos. Did we put theos? We didn't put theos yet. So theos, so it's theos. I know I sometimes tend to say theos, but it's theos. So that's kind of a bad habit of mine. Sorry. Another one would be logos. So the accent is on the first syllable. And then another one with the accent at the end would be uranos. Uranos. So that'd be similar to adelphos, where the accent is at the end. Adelphos, uranos.
Uranos.
Yeah, uranos. Yeah. So yeah, just try to practice that. Make sure you're putting the accent on the end on the last syllable. And another last one would be laos. Laos. So notice how I'm not saying Laos, I'm saying Laos. Laos. So that, accents in there. So Uranos, Theos, Adelphos, Laos, those are all accents on the end. And even Huios, it's got the rough breathing mark, so it's Huios, it's not Huios, it's Hui with the H in front of it, so it's Huios. And then angelos, oklos, nomos, all these have the accent on the first syllable. Cosmos, logos, kurios, anthropos, all those have it on the first syllable. So we would say, actually, once you go through all those, say them and put chi in front of it. Or, I'm sorry, chi in between, the word for and. So this noun and that noun and this noun and that noun. And
that first one, Uranos, I forgot what that means.
Oh, this means heaven or sky, either one. So if we were talking about if we started learning the words for lightning and rain and stuff, then we'd be talking about, from the sky, the rain's coming down and the lightning's in the sky. But if you start talking theologically, you can use it for heaven too. So.
Okay, so Uranos, kai Theos, kai Logos, kai Leos.
Laos. Laos.
Is that right?
La.
Okay.
Laos.
Laos.
Kai.
Oh, yeah, Laos. Sorry.
Yeah, Laos.
Kai Angelos.
Kai
Oklos. Kai Nomos.
Huios. You got nomos. Oh, okay, that's fine. Nomos. That's fine.
Going back up, I guess that would be Kai Huios, Kai Anthropos, Kai Nomos, Kai Kurios.
Oh, Kurios is down here. It's
Oh,
cosmos.
it is. Oh, that's cosmos. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Cosmos. Yeah, cosmos.
Kai Delphos. No. Kai Curios.
There you go. Awesome. Good, good, good. Okay, yeah, I guess that's good. Guess the camera like that is fine. Let's see. Oh, let's go a little more that way. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, so let's I'll leave that to be verb there. So actually, let's use that. Let's for the pronouns. So these are personal pronouns. There's a lot of different types. Oh man, this pen is like dead. It's not very old. It died. Let me stick with black, I guess. So personal pronouns. There's a lot of different types of pronouns in Greek. I don't know, like 7 or 8 of them. There's a bunch of them. So we'll start with this one, personal pronoun. So ego. Trying to remember where the accent is. But anyway, ego just means I. And then how you say you would be su. And then how you say he would be autos. And I'm trying to remember where the accents go on these guys. But anyway, just ego, su, and autos. So you would say ego, e me, I am. And obviously, if you just said the verb, you're saying that. But you can say this for emphasis, and sometimes it just makes things clear, especially when you're talking, because I could use a word that just has the eta, and it sounds the same as that, because this is a lengthened version of that, and it sounds the same. But if somebody says su a, I know immediately that's the word we're talking about, and not some other. Actually, eta all by itself can mean a lot of different things depending on what kind of accent it has, and we'll get into that eventually. But so ego e mi, su e, autos esten. So if I said, I want to make a question. Ara autos. Autos curios, and let's just imagine we're talking about Jesus. Ara autos curios esten? And then you would reply.
Okay, curios esten. That's Lord is. Am I missing something?
Yeah, so it's a question, right? So autos
the top.
curios esten?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. That's Ara autos curios esten. Are we Lord's is?
Okay, yeah, let me help out. So again, keep in mind this doesn't have a translation, just as our like kind of front end question mark thing. So we're basically saying, we got our third person singular verb here, which means is. So we're basically saying, is he Lord? Or sorry. Yeah, we're saying, is he Lord? That's basically what we're saying. Ara autos. Yeah, I'm pointing to him, say, Ara autos curios esten? So in a sense, I'm really just asking curios esten, but when I say autos, I'm kind of pointing at the noun. So I'm like, as if I'm literally pointing at somebody. It's pointing at the noun and say, curios esten? Autos? Autos? He? Is he Lord? So that's basically what we're asking. Is he Lord? Ara, identifies a question. Autos curios esten? And then, question mark here. So your answer would be?
Nai. Autos curios esten.
Exactly. Nai, autos curios esten. That's what you would say. Yep. Exactly. Nai. Now, would it be correct? I mean, does it matter if I said, Nai, curios autos esten? Could I say that?
I suppose yes.
Yeah, you could, because in Greek, I mean, as long as you got the endings, you know what you're saying. So, and there could be various reasons why sometimes the words are kind of in different order. So, you can't do that in English. Sometimes you can. It just depends. But English is very much like we said, based on word order, whereas Greek very rarely. Does that matter? So, ara autos curios esten. So the answer is nai autos curios esten. Okay. So let's do this. So now that we know ego means, what does ego mean?
So what word?
Ego.
I.
That means I, right? And then
Yes.
su means, what does su mean?
Su is you.
Right. And then we just said autos means he, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this word here, the ending will change if we're talking about she, and it'll change if we're talking about it. And then sometimes it's not even necessarily a it. I don't want to get into neuter nouns yet, but I'm just going to just give you a peek. Here's one, paidion. And let's see, paidion. I think the accent's there, but anyway, paidion means basically a child. It's not the only word you use for child, but it's a pretty common one. So paidion is actually neuter. So the nominative or the accusative definite article would be to. So if I said to paidion, this shows you, this definite article tells me that it's neuter. The ending could be accusative if I don't know this noun, it could be accusative. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's accusative. But if I have the definite article, I know, oh, well, that's neuter, right? And so same with this. If I have whole in front of a noun, I know we're talking about second declension masculine. It can't be neuter. It can't be feminine. So the definite article, like many instructors, teachers will say, is your best friend because it'll help you figure out a lot of stuff. Because sometimes these endings could be, at a minimum 10 possibilities, and sometimes even the accents will kind of help you as well. So you just kind of got to get to know stuff. So all that to say, it doesn't necessarily have to mean it. If I used the neuter for this, which would be auto, if it's the subject or the accusative, either one, either nominative or accusative, either one. In neuter, they're the same, which is not the case with masculine. We see that the nominative and the accusative are unique, but in neuter, they're actually the same. So if I did use auto in a sentence, that's not necessarily saying it. It could be like in my paragraph, I'm talking about, the child, topaidion. And now I swap out. I don't want to keep saying the noun all the time because we do that in English. I'm not going to, if I, say something about Frank, I'm not going to constantly keep saying Frank, 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 Frank. I may eventually say he, right? Right? That's pretty common. So similarly, I don't always want to keep saying topaidion, topaidion, or paidion, paidion, paidion. I might want to swap it out and just throw a personal pronoun in there and actually just refer to him as auto. So the personal pronoun points to the noun. As long as it's been introduced at the beginning of the sentence, just like English, we swap over to the personal pronoun. So that's the same thing we do in English. So it's not really an it, I'm not saying it couldn't mean it, but it doesn't have to be an it. So autos is referring to a he, and then there's the feminine for the she, and we won't get into that. And then there's the neuter that is pointing to the neuter nouns or whatever. So, and in some cases could refer to it. It just depends whether it's pointing to a noun or not or something or whatever. So, but most of the time, yeah, it'd probably be pointing to a neuter noun. So, anyway, so since we know these ego, su, and autos, let's use them with this verb, and let's kind of make some sentences. So if I say ego e mi, let's turn into a question. Ara ego e mi. This is the to be verb, right? So this is I am, you are, he is. But if you make that into a question, you might say, is he? You would kind of swap it around. Is he? Are you? am I? You kind of swap it around in English for a question. But anyway, ara, ego, a, me. I guess we don't know the word for teacher yet, do we? I say anthropos. Ara, ego, e, me, anthropos. And then your answer would be?
Well, they're asking if you're the teacher, right?
Or not teacher, because we don't know the word for teacher yet, but just anthropos. So, ara, ego, e, me, anthropos. In fact, let me write it out. So I'd say ara, ego. I think the accent is here, yeah, pretty sure. Ego, e, me. Anthropos. So, ara, ego, e, me, anthropos. And then your answer would be?
Would be I, su,
Su, a.
Su, anthropos.
Exactly. Perfect. Nice. So, and that's the thing too with the to be verb. Whenever something comes after the verb, you still maintain and use the nominative form. And it's kind of similar a little bit to English theory. English theory, there's it's kind of unique with the to be verbs with the predicate nominative versus the subject, and that's kind of a little bit different with other verbs and stuff, whatever. But yeah, you'd still say, after the verb, you still use the nominative. So if I wanted to say, if I ask you, what would I use here if I wanted to ask you if you're an anthropos? What would I write in there?
Well, you'd leave the ara, which means question, and you would say, I guess you would say, u, Is that right?
Su.
Yeah, su, yeah. Su,
yeah, don't get u and su mixed up. Right.
Right?
Yeah, so yeah, it's an easy mistake to make. So ara su, and then what was the verb?
A.
Right.
No. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. Yep. So ara su, yeah. So these guys always travel together. These guys travel together. These guys travel together. Always. So it's ara su e anthropos. So I would say nai su e anthropos. So now if I ask you and I say ara su e anthropos, and I pose the question to you, what would your answer be?
I would say, nai, and then is Amy, nai.
Or yeah, you don't have to say ego, but
Ego.
Yeah. Ego.
Amy.
Yeah, ego, Amy.
Anthropos.
Nai. Carlos. So if I say ara su e anthropos, you say?
I say, nai, ego e mi anthropos.
Perfect. That's awesome, man. Okay, so now let's use the he form, right? So what would I put for third person? Say, is he a person? Is he a man? How would I?
Are autos? I can't actually read that one. Let's say.
Oh, yeah.
Esten.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Autos esten anthropos. Okay.
Yeah. Ara esten anthropos. Yep. Oh, let me make a better new than that. It's pretty terrible new. Okay. Ara autos esten anthropos. So we're talking about this guy over here. Yeah. So, ara autos esten anthropos. So I ask you that, and then what do you say?
I would say, nai are the esten.
Yeah, say it again.
Yeah, I'd still say.
I don't know. I think your mic's cutting out. Say it again.
I would have said, I would say, nai, autos esten anthropos.
Nai. Nai. Kalos. So, ara autos esten anthropos? And the answer is nai autos esten anthropos. Okay. So we could throw in a different verb there. So we'll say curios, I guess. Oh, sorry. Okay, we got a little question here. Okay. Ara autos esten curios. We're just talking about this person over here. Ara autos esten curios.
And most likely, unless it's really is our Lord, I would probably say uki.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, practice that.
Autos esten curios.
Okay. Yeah, let me introduce another noun. It's called doulos. And I'm trying to remember where the accent is on that. I think it's on the first syllable. Yeah, doulos. That's why I've always heard it. So doulos is kind of the opposite of kurios. So doulos means slave. Sometimes it's translated as servant. So it's kind of it's basically kurios is master or lord, and master or lord. Let me look over here. Let's see. Find it.
Is it doulos or doulios?
Doulos.
Doulos.
Yeah, let's see here. Let me look in this. What I got?
And I would probably say, nai ego me doulos.
Okay, yeah. It is on the first. Okay. It's on the first one. So it says this is long. Anyway, we'll get into accenting. But yeah, so the accent is this type circumflex over the first syllable because it's long. But anyway, we'll get into all that. So yeah, but that just means servant or slave. It's kind of more the idea of slave, but and then of course kurios means lord or master. So these are kind of like the opposite. So so what we could write is I'm still going to use ara because we're going to still ask questions. But I could say, I mean, what could I say in English? Give me a sentence in English where I'm using the master and the servant. You know, with the verbs that we've used. We got the verb, I have. We got the verb, I hear. We get the verb I am. Some of the other verbs that we've done. I have, I hear. I mean, just even with the verb I have, or I speak, I say, we got that one too. So those are the ones we've done so far. So I could say, I could ask you, does a master, does a lord have a servant or a slave? So how would I say that in Greek? How do you think? What would be the first word I would use?
Well, you could say curios.
I mean, if we got a question mark, what's the first?
Right. Ara.
Ara. There you go. So yep. So that'd be the first. I'm going to go ahead and use a capital letter. So ara, and then I'd say, here be our subject. Does the Lord have a servant? So which would be our subject?
Lord with curios.
Right. Lord would be the subject, and then what he has is the direct object, a servant. So ara. You say the noun.
Dulon.
Well, for the subject, so ara.
Curios.
Curios, and then I would use the verb echo. So what form would I use?
Well, if you're talking about does he, right? So that would be, is that altos?
Well, yeah, we're not going to use the pronoun. Yeah, we're just trying to conjugate which ending I would use for third person. And then I got my verb is echo. So I got to give it to this ending. So how would you say that?
Eki?
Yeah, eke. Yeah. So eke. So ara curios eke. And then if I want to say I wouldn't use the definite article. Let's do it both ways. First, we'll do it with a servant, and then we'll say the servant. So does a lord have a servant? So I would say, what would be the how would I decline that? That's what they call it, declining the noun.
Would it be Delon?
Yeah, dulon. Yeah.
Delon?
Yeah, dulon. Right. Kind of a lame new or lambda there. Okay. So ara curios eke dulon. So that's a question. So ara curios eke dulon. So I'm asking you, ara curios eke dulon. What would you say? I mean, it doesn't even matter. Just pick one.
I'd probably say Nike.
Yeah, Nike. Yeah, and then give me the complete sentence.
Dulon. Yeah.
What would you say?
Curios eke Dulon.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, and then if we wanted to say, does a lord have the servant? If we want to say the servant, what would we put in front of it?
In front of it would be
right, ton dulon. Right. Actually, the way up. Actually, ton dulon. So ara curios eke ton dulon. So we were, talking about a specific servant and person knew what you were talking about. I mean, you might say that. Ara curios eke ton dulon, because you've already been talking about a particular servant. And it's like, or you could say, what if I wanted to make this into the Lord? Does the Lord have the servant? How would I change the sentence?
You would change it to ara. Is it ho curios?
Right. Ara ho curios eke ton dulon. Right. Exactly. Yeah, man, you're getting it. All right. I mean, you're not ready to translate the Gospel of John yet, but you're getting it, man. So that's cool, man. That's awesome. So ara ho curios eke ton dulon. And so the answer might be, if you wanted to say no, how would you say? Let's say you want to say no, but you want to say it really emphatically. How would you say that?
Uki?
Yeah, but you got to be more convincing. You got to say Uki. Like Uki, like, are you crazy? Uki. Uki. Ho curios. You can say it this way. I mean, you could do it this way. You can say Uki. Ho curios. Uk. I would put the kappa in there because I start with eke. Uk eke ton dulon. I mean, you could say it that way. You wouldn't have to. You could start it off out here and say Uki, and then just say ho curios ton dulon. Or you might want to say, if you say Uki, you might want to say ho. Yeah, that might be the best way to say it. Ho curios uk eke ton dulon. That might be the best way to say it. I mean, you could say ho curios. I mean, that's usually the way people would say it. They would put uk right in front of the verb. It's almost kind of, I guess we kind of do that in English, sort of. So that would probably be the way they'd say it. What's that?
Curios uk eke ton
dulon. Yeah. Now, you could just say ho curios uk eke ton dulon, and that wouldn't be emphatic. You're just stating that. You're just like, no, the Lord does not have the servant. But if you want to make it emphatic, you might say uki. And then again, just like you did in the previous sentence, you would repeat the uk here. So you would actually use it twice. Spanish is kind of like that. Like in Spanish, you would say, somebody's asking you a question, you wanted to say negative, you would say no, and then you would say blah, 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 no, blah, blah, blah. So you're actually saying no twice. In English, a lot of times, a double negative turns into a positive. But some of these other languages aren't like that. So yeah, you'd say ara ho kurios uk eke tondulon. That's what you would say. So yeah, let's use this verb here, eke, for all of its forms. So I would say ego, echo. Can you say that? Ego, echo.
Ego, echo.
Okay, and let's say ego, echo, logon. I have a word. Ego, echo, logon. So go ahead and say that.
Ego, echo, logon.
Okay, I have a word. And then if I wanted to ask you if you have a word, I would say ara su ekes, right? That's the ending up here. O ace a, just like we have over here, O ace a. So we just keep remembering that O ace a, O ace a. So ego, and then it's O, su, and then you get the ace at the end, and then autos a. So here it's su. So I would say ara, get my question word, ara su ekes logon. Ara su ekes logon. Yeah, so what would you?
Okay, that's asking me if I have a word. Ara su.
Yeah, do you have a word?
Do I have a word?
Yeah. So ara su ekes logon. So do you have a word?
I suppose I could say Nai ego Amy logon.
No, not Amy. You wouldn't say I am a word.
No, not Amy. I'm sorry, Eke.
Echo, echo. You say ego, echo.
Ego, echo.
Yeah, ego,
Yeah.
echo. Yeah. So ego, echo, su, ekes, autos, eke. You know, and instead of autos, you could say kurios, eke, or you could say anthropos, eke. But it's that third person singular kind of idea. Whoever the third person singular person is, this is the ending for that verb. So, yeah, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me see what I did with my water. Let me grab my water. So yeah, let me give you a question here to think about while I'm running to grab my water. So if I wanted to change this to say, does he have a word? How would I say that? So we said here, ara su ekes logon. Do you have a word? But if I wanted to say, does he have a word? How would I say that? Ara, does he have a word? How would I change that to third person singular?
Could be he autos estin. No, not estin. Autos logon. Autos, is that right?
Yeah, which verb are we using though?
Which verb?
Yeah, this is the verb. Yeah.
But hold on, it's well, maybe I don't have it.
Yeah. So you would use this ending instead of this one. So this is the second person ending. You'd plug this one in, just kind of plug and play sort of thing. So ara su ekes. So we would change the pronoun to what? It's not su, that's you. Ara su ekes, you have. So we would change it to what now?
Ego? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, ego.
Oh, wait, we say he though, right?
Oh, he.
Yeah.
Okay.
He.
I guess I'm lost here.
That's okay, man. Sometimes your brain just wants to, I don't know, go off in the weeds, and you gotta just, so don't beat yourself up. So this is second person singular. So this is su, ekes. Are you, or I'm sorry, not are you. Do you have, so this is the question, do you have a word? But if we wanted to make he does have a word, what would be my pronoun instead of su? I would get rid of this and plug in which one?
Okay. Well, I keep looking at the altos over there. But
Yeah.
that's not right.
Yeah, altos, yep.
Okay.
So we'd use altos. Okay, altos. And then what would we do to our ending to make that match altos?
Eki.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So I guess you would pronounce it like, let's see. I guess it kind of is. I'm using Greek characters, sorry. I guess it kind of sounds like this. Okay. That's how you pronounce it. It's kind of like okay, except the accent's over here, over this. So okay, that's how it should sound. So you get rid of the sigma because it's this ending here, altos, and then use that ending. So eje. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Altos eje. And then logon. So ara altos eje logon. Does he have a word? So, and then you would say,
Nai altos eke logon.
right. Nai altos eje logon. Okay. Okay, so we're using that. We got if I say I have a word, I would say ego echo logon. So then you could ask me, go ahead and ask me a question. What I just said, except you would change it to second person. Can you change it to second person to ask me, do you have a word? Do you remember how to do that?
Then I would say arasu ekes.
Ekes.
Logon.
Right. So arasu ekes logon. And I would say, uki. Uki. Uk echo logon. Are you out of your mind? No, uk echo logon. So arasu ekes logon. That's when you say, hey man, you gotta kind of take it easy on the coffee. It's a little too much caffeine there. So ara su ekes logon.
Arasu ekes logon. I'm supposed to say have the word.
Or do you have a word?
I like it better. I'll say ook.
There you go. Yeah, what would you say?
What would I say? I don't know. Is it ekes?
Or ook echo. Ook echo.
Echo.
Or I'm sorry. Ook.
That's right, for myself.
Yeah. You don't have to say ego, but let's practice. So you could either say ook echo, or you could say, let's practice the pronoun. So you say ook ego. Ook ego echo. Yeah. Ara. I'm sorry. Let me get rid of this. You would say ook ego echo logon. That's what you would say if you want to make it a statement, a sentence, a response. So if I said ara su ekes logon, you would say ook ego echo logon. That's what you would say, yeah. Ook ego echo logon. Now what if you wanted to change it and say, no, I don't have the word? Because what does this mean? What does this mean right here?
There would be ook ego echo ton logon.
Right, because this means a word, but that would mean the word, yeah. So ook ego echo ton logon. Yeah, if we weren't practicing the pronoun, you could simply just say ook echo ton logon. You wouldn't have to say ook ego, but we probably need to practice the pronouns. So ook ego echo ton logon. So let me ask you. So su ekes ton logon.
And I'd say, I guess,
Actually, change it to nai. Change it to nai.
Uk.
Say. You know,
Okay, nai. Okay, nai. Ego echo ton logon.
Nai. Got los. So let me ask you again. You gotta get to practice, man. Ara su ekes ton logon.
Nai. Ego echo ton logon.
Okay, now ask me.
Okay. Ara su
Su.
Ara su ekes logon or
Yeah,
ton
logon.
logon.
Uki. Uk ego ton logon.
Right?
Oh man, I lose you.
You're can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened? Is that my end or your end?
Well, it showed you disappeared for a second, but now you're back and it actually looks clearer. So.
Oh really? Oh. I wonder if my let me go check my cell phone here real quick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me see where we're at here. So we're doing a lot of practice. So we introduced a new word, doulos. What does doulos mean?
Slave or servant.
There you go. Okay. So let's instead of the word, let's introduce that. Let's say if I wanted to ask you, do you have a servant? How would I ask that?
It's a arasu have eke. I don't know. Arasu ekes doulos.
Doulos is what case is that? Doulos?
Oh, Dulon. Sorry.
Dulon. Which one is that? Dulon is which one?
Arasu ekes Dulon.
Yeah, which case? Which case is it?
That's the accusative.
Yep. And then doulos is which one?
The
Nominative, right?
Nominative.
Yeah. So arasu ekes, and then what would you say?
Dulon.
Yeah, dulon. Yeah. And I would say nai, ego echo dulon. Or I might say uk echo, uk ego echo dulon. You could say either that or just say uk echo dulon.
Maybe you could say, Luke, ego emi, the Dulon.
You could say that, or not dulon. You would say if you say Amy, you would say doulos. Yeah. So if you change this to, if you did that, if you said uk, ego. Let me get that right here. Uk ego Amy. This would change to nominative. This would be doulos. And get rid of that question mark. Yeah. It's a uk ego Amy doulos. Yeah. You want to say. So I could say ara su a doulos. What would you say?
So, I would say, ego emi Dulos. I am.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Now, what if you wanted to say I'm a slave or I'm a servant of God? How would you change that?
Then I would say ego, emi, dulu. Is that right?
No.
No, okay. Du, los, theon. No, theou.
Yeah, Theou. Yeah,
Theou.
Theou. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to introduce the article, what would be the article?
For theou?
Yeah, if I want to say ook, if I or whatever, let's say ego eimi doulos theou, but I wanted to change it to ego eimi doulos, and then put the God.
Two.
Yeah, two. Yep. Tu theou. Yep. Ego eimi doulos tu theou. Yep. That's good, man. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, I guess without looking, can you tell me the declension case there? We're only doing the single side, but just going through. What's the nominative? What's the ending?
OS. I mean, Omicron.
Sigma, right? Yeah. And then the genitive?
That's OU. No, I'm not looking. Is it OU? I mean, Omicron Upsilon.
Right, Omicron Upsilon. And then the dative?
Dative is Omega.
Right. And then the accusative?
Is Alpha Nu.
Not alpha. Omicron.
Sorry. Omicron Nu. Sorry.
Yeah, Omicron Nu. Yep. So yeah, they all got Omicron, and then keep in mind, micron means small, mega means big. So when you say Omicron, it's small o, and then when you say omega, you're saying big O. So these all have Omicron, but this is a lengthened. This is the omega. So this is the lengthened form. So you can just remember that they all basically have O in it, but this is the micron O, and this is the mega O. So omega, omicron. That might help. Just remember they're all, O. They're all omega or omicron. So yeah. So the word for yes is what now?
Nine.
And the word for no?
Ook.
Yeah, oo or ook. Yeah, ookie.
Ook or ookie.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And then now let's use our verb that follows similar pattern as echo or we could use the two. Let's use Lego, which means I say or speak. You just kind of modify it in English, based on what makes sense. And then akuo. Oh, sorry. Yeah, akuo is I hear. So as you can see, they're kind of like, kind of opposite of each other. One's the receiver, one's the sender, kind of idea. Sender, receiver. So if I say ego, Lego, Lego, ego Lego, Kai, remember Kai means and then if I wanted to say you here, how would I say that?
Okay, then you is can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Yep, go ahead.
So let's see. The word for here is kuro, but for you here is
yeah, right here.
Kuri.
Yeah, akuo, akues, akue. So if I wanted to say ego Lego kai su akues, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Grace.
Su akues. It's long. There. Okay. Yep. Right. Okay. Su akues. Okay, so this is, what does this mean?
There's a ego Lego. You said ego Lego. I speak and you hear.
Right.
Lego kai su akues.
There you go. Perfect. So yeah, ego lego kai su akues. All right. Yeah, eventually, like I'm gonna just introduce, like, kind of like we've been doing, little parts of things that, if you went into the whole paradigm, it would be a lot, and eventually we will. But I just want to, just to kind of form better sentences to help us practice. I'm going to introduce the word for what. So it's Tao, Yoda, and you put an accent there. And if it has the accent, then it's basically what they call an interrogative pronoun. We did personal pronoun here, but this is interrogative pronoun, meaning that it's like the word interrogative meaning interrogate. It's, in other words, a question. Um, if it's without that, it's a different type of pronoun that doesn't mean, it doesn't have to do with asking a question. But if we have the accent, then it does. So if I said T, which means what, aku, akues. So if I said T akues, well, actually, let's put ara in front of it. Ara T akues. Or I could say ara akues T. Ara T akues, ara akues T. Ara T akues. So that would say, like, what do you hear? Do you remember the special little quirky little thing about this verb, akuo? Do you remember what we said about that? In terms of like the declensions, for the direct object.
For the direct object, I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we were basically just saying for this verb, there's a few others like this, and it seems like they all start with alpha. It's kind of a weird sort of thing, that the direct object is actually in the genitive. But that's only true if it's like a person. Because if it's an inanimate object, it follows the normal pattern. It becomes the accusative. But if it's a person, it's genitive. So what I would say is, if I said T akues, T would kind of suggest not a person, but oh, you're back. Something that's kind of inanimate. So T akues would suggest like something like, logon or something like that. But if I said tis, we're gonna learn both those. T and tis. Both of those are nominative forms. T is actually neuter, and I've mentioned neuter a little bit. So this would be the nominative or the accusative. Nominative or accusative. And then tis is exclusively nominative. And that's, it's not neuter. So it's actually masculine and feminine, both. But just for what we're doing, what matters is T has to do with not a person, something like what, and then tis has to do with who. So what we would say is, if I wanted to ask you who, then I would change this to put a little sigma in there. I would say ara tisa kues. Ara tisa kues. That's a little crowded in there. Let me bring that down here. Ara tis.
Okay.
Ara tisa kues. This verb up here. Ara tisa kues. And so, yeah, there I might say Frank. But I gotta use Frank in the genitives. So say Franku. I'm just kidding. So we could say. So then I would say, since I'm saying this, akues, I could put su in there because that's second person. That's what we're asking, second person singular, right? So ara tis akues. Actually, if it's a question, it sounds better. They usually will put su at the end. So ara tis akues su. So ara tis akues su. So who do you hear? That's what that would be asking. And then you might say, ego. What would be the form I would use for a kues for first person singular?
Okay.
Ego.
Would be O.
Omega, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, akuo. So ego akuo, and then who do I hear? Let's say I hear the Lord. So I would say tu. And then what? How would I? Tu.
I see you. No, hear you.
Yeah, either one. That's right. Kuryu. Yeah, like Samuel, right? First Samuel, it starts out. He says, "Here I am." You know how to say "Here I am"? No, I don't want to introduce a new word. I was going to give you the word for here, but we won't do that. Let's assume you knew the word for here. Say "Here I am." How would you say "I am"?
Is it Amy?
Yeah, ego Amy, right? Yeah. Or you could say Amy, either one, but ego Amy would be kind of a little more clear, emphatic, or whatever. So if I say aratis akue su, so who do you hear? You might say ego akuo tu kurio. So it's genitive, tu kurio. So just remember that we're talking about who, then it's genitive for akuo for that verb. But if it's a what, then it's accusative. So it's just kind of a quirky little verb. For akuo, akue, akue. So aratis akue su. So I don't know. What's one of the other nouns that we got? Let's say a sun. So how would you say that if you said I hear a sun or I hear the sun? Not the sun in the sky, but the child, the sun.
Ego. Akuo. Ego akuo. The sun is genitive form of who. So I'd say tu huyu.
Yeah. Nice. Yep.
I do remember in last video you had, you did say what was accusative and who was genitive, and I wrote that down. I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah, it's just repetition, man. It's just that's what we're trying to do here is just do some repetition, because it drives it in like a nail in your brain. So aratis akue su. You would say, go ahead and say this statement here.
So, the ego akuo tu huyu.
Perfect. So here's the word for again. Here's the word for again. Write this down. The word pollen. So I'm going to start saying that. Pollen. Again. Yeah. So if I say pollen.
How do you say it? What is it? I can't read it.
Yeah. So it's P, alpha, lambda, iota, nu. Yeah. Can you see that? P, alpha, lambda. Yeah. Let me make that clearer.
Iota.
Yeah. Iota, nu. So 5 letters, P, alpha, lambda, iota, nu, and it just means again. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Let's see, how far are we into the video? Oh, brother. Oh, man. I'm making another hour and a half video. Oh, man. I'm telling you, man, once we get on a roll here, it's easy to just kind of go crazy here. So I guess we probably better keep it to an end. Anyway, the words in summary that we introduced, pollen is again. So really, like, write that down, make some flashcards or something. Uki is the emphatic form of uk or u for no. That's how you say no. And then nai is yes, right? So that's nu, alpha, iota. Nai. And then Lego, of course, is I say or speak. Akuo is I hear. Uh-oh. All right, well, I guess we're going to end the video here. So real quick, so we got our declensions, our signal declension, Omicron, Sigma. So this is our nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative. Please keep practicing those. This is our verb, paradigm here. So we've got, we introduced the pronouns, the personal pronouns. Ego is I. So ego together with, put this ending at the end of my omega verb, like akuo. Ego, akuo, I hear, or echo means I have. So ego, echo, I have. Ego, one of my other verbs, Lego. Ego, Lego, I speak. Now if we change to second person singular, su akues, su ekes, su, what was the other verb? Lego. So su leges. So we're always using this ending for su. So that means you, leges, you speak. Autos, lege means he speaks. Autos means he. Autos, eke, he has. Autos, akue. Autos, akue, he hears. And so again, T is the nominative and the accusative for what. Tis is the nominative for who. And so we're just going to introduce those, not going to the full paradigm yet. And so just remember those, study that stuff, make some vocab flashcards or something. Keep working the problems. I'll come up with some sentences and stuff. And of course, you can work the ones that we did here in class. I encourage you to do that. Just work them again and again and again. Stop the video at different points and just go through them. Okay, God bless you.